sort of acquired its own momentum. One side upped their production of armaments, and so the other side upped theirs. It was a little bit reminiscent of the Cold War, when each side was trying to outdo the other side and was afraid of falling behind. So it gains its own momentum after a while and just starts building up and becomes difficult to stop. This was before nuclear weapons, so there was no fear of annihilation. So they were just building masses of conventional weapons. It's like that we've got more ships than them, we can win, or if we got more guns than them, we can win. And they were. The main part was in the navy between Germany and Britain, because Britain had ruled the waves for hundreds of years. Germany was a newcomer, and so there was a race between them, which was costing a lot of money, and it just escalated. So you get the feeling that it must come to a climax eventually, because of the sheer number of armaments that were being produced. I'm not sure it could have been avoided, because they were set in the way so much, because like I said, I regard the First World War as part of a super conflict which started in 1870 with the Franco-Prussian War and went right through to the end of the Second World War in 1945. And the First World War was in the middle of this, and they were all interconnected one to the other. So by the time we'd got into the early part of the last century, they had formed alliances between each other, and like I said, the arms race had gone up between them, and I think it was pretty inevitable, but I don't think it could have been stopped. Right, well, Germany was a very new empire, so they had only become united in the latter part of the 19th century, but they wanted their share of resources from around the world as well. So they were trying to build an empire, and they did have several areas in Africa. The European countries have been carving Africa up, which has caused problems, of course, ever since. But Germany wanted their bit of it as well. So it spread around the world, but they wanted their bit. There was three types of empire. There was the mature empires like the French Empire and the British Empire. There was the newly forming empire, which the Germans wanted, and then there was the old decaying empires like Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Turks. And so it was definitely there in the background. They were all competing. All the European countries were competing to get the most resources from around the world. So that had to add to the tension. Yeah. Don't think that played a very big role in it, but it was there. It was there in the background. What I say, it was mainly between two blocks. Like I say, the central block, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and then the surrounding countries, the Imperial Russia, Britain, France, facing each other. So the imperialism would have been in the background, but it wouldn't have been major on that one. The British did have lots of Indian troops on the Western Front, and there was Vietnamese troops fighting for France. So it wasn't just the white French, British and Germans against each other. there was quite a few colonial troops in the trenches as well. So it was there in the background, but it wasn't one of the major forces.